and welcome back to another episode of Next Level Real Talk podcast with Sheldon and David. Hey, David, how are you?
Doing great. How was your week?
Good, good. Dealing with this little shingles outbreak on the ear, so it's
Yeah.
all nasty looking, but
Gosh, so
radiates
painful.
pain throughout the whole head, and making it hard to sleep and all this other stuff. So it's been a wild week for me, a couple weeks actually,
Yeah.
but good otherwise.
Yeah.
So
Good. Glad you're there. And I had a good week. I got to do some science experiments with my daughter and grandkids because it's summer. So we did a couple experiments. It was kind of fun to hang out with them and do some fun little
just
kid experiments. So
activities, yeah, that's
yeah, it was
awesome.
cool. It
That's
was cool. It
awesome.
was fun. So I had joy as a grandfather this week. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, the our last episode we talked about it was titled "Slowing Down and Noticing," and we talked about how to actually slow down and notice things that are going around you, and that you have to feel some of that hardness sometimes and the good stuff to be able to heal.
Yeah.
So if you haven't heard that one, please go back and take a listen because it was short and sweet and just some good info in there. It was
Yeah, and
good.
you know what? And do us a favor if you do like what you're seeing, please like it and maybe put a comment. Say, hey, I enjoyed that one in the comments because that actually it does
Yep.
something with the algorithm and stuff like that. It makes it more visible. So, like, comment,
Yeah.
subscribe, and share, and all that kind of stuff. We'd appreciate that.
Tell friends about it because you never know who needs to hear what. So,
Yeah, right. You got to feel it to heal it was one of the things, right? We talked about in
yep,
the last one, right? About that whole idea of going in and feeling it. And I guess,
yeah,
we're in a way we're always repeating the same message over and over again in a different words, right? But it's the same
yeah,
idea. And one of those ideas was like, you are the source, or it's all within you, right?
yeah. You got
Like
to go within. You got to go deep within yourself first to be able to be to get your aura out to others and show them who you are.
yeah,
You know.
and I believe that was the whole point of the phrase "seek first the kingdom of God within."
Mm-hmm.
That there is this place within you that is radiant. If you get, in certain teachings, they talk about the light. The light is within you, the light of the
Mm-hmm.
Christ, the divine spark, whatever that is. That in Hinduism, the Atman, which is the kind of small divinity versus Brahman, which is the big divinity, and you have to go in and
Mm-hmm.
find the Atman within you, and then connect that to the Brahman that without you. So there's God within, there's God without. You have to connect to the God within, and then merge that with the God without, and then you're
Yep.
that kind of idea, right? You can get deep into that, but what is it really? It's about feeling the feelings that you're having, which is what we talked about last week, right? You
Mm-hmm.
have to connect to whatever's coming up within you, but also understanding that is you're a true source of power, right? Because when we're always worried about the external circumstances, like, oh, when the war is over, then I'll be happy. Oh, when the economy's better, then I'll be happy. Oh, when
Yes.
I have a
When I
different
have
life,
when I
then I'll
have
be
yeah
happy.
when I have all the money I want, when I
Yeah,
have the house, when I have the car, when I have the wife, when I have the kids, oh, life's going to be so wonderful.
yeah.
Well, you
Good
got
luck
to
with
be
that one.
you got to be okay during it. Yeah. So it not all
Because what
happen at once, and you
and
always want more.
Jim Carrey has that beautiful graduation speech. I don't know if you ever saw that one. It went
Yeah,
pretty viral
I know
with
what you're talking
that
about. Yeah.
Maharishi University, where he talks about, I wish everybody could get what I had, which is I got everything. I got everything I ever wanted, and it was no different, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's that one director of his, the guy who directed a bunch of the Jim Carrey movies, made a movie called I Am, and he
Mm-hmm.
had that experience where he got, he made millions of dollars on one of the Jim Carrey movies, and he bought this mansion in, Beverly Hills or whatever. And he goes, I distinctly remember getting to the top of the spiral staircase, this huge grand staircase, and going, I'm no happier than I was before. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, I'm not one iota happier. I'm no different. And that started this spiritual exploration for him, this idea that, wow, I have everything that in our world is telling you should be, enjoy.
Yep.
And he goes, and I don't feel any different because he was connected enough to his insides to recognize that the
Is that what
external
I want?
circumstance actually didn't affect the inside, right?
Yeah. And sometimes what society says, the house, the car, the wife, the kids, or husband,
Whatever, yeah.
kids, yeah, whatever side you're on. The yes, that makes you happy. But is that what you wanted? Did you want the Ferrari or did you want the Ford truck?
And
Well, we
and
got a Ferrari like everybody else, but I really want a Ford truck.
and that is also the thing because we're in a, this reality, this world that we live in changes, everything changes. And, in certain philosophies, Tao Te Ching, the Taoists will talk about everything changes, this is a universe of change. Everything is constant. The only thing that's constant is that it will change, right? So when you're building this idea of security or happiness based on a certain set of circumstances that are outside of you, you are subject to the change that will happen. And
Yeah.
then then your happiness is now dependent on these circumstances, right? So, I got the job. Well, now I lost the job, And we had that one, right? That one Chinese saying with the horse and, good or
Yeah.
bad, I don't know. Good or bad,
Yep.
I don't know. Is it good? I don't know. Is it bad? I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll
Yep.
see. Who knows, right? All because everything's changing and you don't know. Everything is constantly in flux, right? So when you're trying to find some sense of control, like, oh, now I own my house and I'm safe, or now I have a good job and I'm safe, or now, and you're clinging to that external circumstance, whether it's the family that I have or whatever, that creates a sense of fear and instability. But that is also, to me, the idea of building your house on sand, right?
Yeah.
It is something that is shifting. And so when you're building your house on sand, when you're building your sense of you, your sense of happiness, your sense of peace on something that is invariably, undeniably going to change, then you are not in a place of stability and peace, not lasting peace. And so what is the foundation of granite that will never change? That is the place that's within you that is already at peace, irrespective of what your circumstances might be right now.
Because you have to be at peace with everything in chaos around you.
You
You have to
can
be at peace
be.
with you. You can be, yeah.
You,
So
that
with
that and
me,
that I think is the number one
yeah,
thing that people don't recognize is that even possible, and people don't think it is. And what we're here both you and I to say is that number one, it is possible to be at peace or to find a place of peace and happiness within you, regardless of what your external circumstances are.
yeah,
And that sounds, you know,
and
sounds
Fred,
like we don't have compassion for some of the challenging situations, and I hope that
yeah,
that's not what we mean, because obviously there are some
yeah,
people in very challenging circumstances, but just in your own mind, if you can say, okay, if this is possible, if you're listening to this and say, okay, these guys are saying it's possible, do I feel that right now? And if you don't, what can you do?
like
Can
like for me, a lot of times, it's that yes, this is going on, that's going on. There's a little chaos going on, but it's like I don't want to get like you were saying earlier. Like when the war's over, I'll be so much happier. It's like, well, yeah, we all will be, but it's not like that's not going to make me okay. Now the world's great. It's like no, what am I at now? Yes, there's chaos going on, but in this chaos, how can I be safe, calm, and okay with myself, at a good place of peace.
yeah,
And with me, like when I'm sometimes, it's obviously that saying, peace beyond all understanding. That God gives
yep,
peace beyond all understanding, and I always ask for that. It's like give me that peace, and I pray that for others.
yep,
But also when I'm going through something, I've learned in the last decade, as I'm going through something, and it's like God, instead of getting angry and going like, why am I in this? It's like, okay, God, this is not something I want to be in. But why do you have me going through this?
yeah,
I'm supposed to learn something.
yeah,
What am I supposed to
yeah,
learn? Which, yeah, I'm still going through that hard time, but I'm at peace within me going like, okay, this is where I'm grounded. This is where I am. This is causing a little bit of ruckus, but I can get through it with the peace within inside of me.
yeah. That's beautiful,
So, yeah.
and it's not
So,
easy.
no,
And
God,
so,
no. Yeah, yeah. That came out in like a 2, 3, 5 sentence statement. That's years of going. What the heck is going on? So
you know,
just
as you were saying that, it reminded me like this ear, the shingles, it actually radiates this pain. It goes right down the middle of my head, the whole left side of my head, and the whole it would come down into my shoulder. I mean, radiating, throbbing pain. Like I was telling you before we started recording that I hadn't slept through the night all week, and I would get home, get back to the hotel from work, and I would crash for like 2 hours or 3 hours, from like 8 to 11 o'clock at night, and then wake up and then get ready for bed and shower, and then I would never sleep again. So I'm on like all the entire week I was on 2 to 3 hours of sleep at the most, and it happened in the early evening, not at night, and partially because of all the pain that was going on, and so yeah, that whole practice of okay. this is here to teach me something. There's a
Mm-hmm.
reason it's here. What is that? But part of it also was the ability to witness, right? That
Mm-hmm.
there's this idea of the witness, which is where, you kind of, and meditation is very good at this, right? Is you can kind of watch what's going on,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there's these Hindu masters, Nisargadatta, Ramana Maharshi. There's two of these guys that were considered these living saints that died. One of them died in the 60s, and one of them died, not that long ago. They were alive. They've got photographs of them and
Mm-hmm.
videos of them and stuff like that. Both of them died of cancer. And both of them died of a kind of cancer that apparently spread through the whole body and ravaged them.
Oh
And
wow.
they just sat there and never went to the doctor, and they were at peace the whole time. And apparently, their whole bodies were being destroyed, and they were in pain. But they were like, and so the people that could see, the seers that could see the energy, were like, they're in bliss. And then one dude was like, ha ha ha, and chuckling. Because
Mm-hmm.
he's just like, oh,
So
you caught me.
yeah, it's
Like,
like I'm okay.
because they were
Yeah.
totally in bliss. They were like not connected. They were able to witness what was going on in the body without necessarily associating who they were with the body. They were witnessing. They were from this place that's outside, greater than, witnessing what was going on within. I was trying to practice some of that. It's not easy.
With that pain radiating from the ear, oh, those shingles hurt, man. Oh,
So you know what? It was kind of cool though, is I could do it
yeah.
for a little bit. I could 100% could do it. Like I could sit there and be like, okay, and I would just get in this place, and I could just. It changes the way you feel the sensations within it. It's just
Mm-hmm.
like you're not as like, oh my god, I'm in so much pain. It's like, wow, there's a lot of pain going on in that thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
There's a kind of detachment.
And that's kind of back to last week, slowing down and noticing. Like
Yes.
it's not slowing down physically, slowing down mentally
Yeah.
and going like, okay, where am I at? And then
Yes.
experience what's going on. It's like, God, this sucks. This
Yeah.
hurts. But let's feel that. Let's
Yeah.
feel what's going on, and
Yeah.
just kind of experience because you may never experience again. I hope. The but that's where you got to just like, okay, where is this? Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not good,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna get through this.
And,
And I think when you do that, when you actually give it, I know people say don't give it a life. It's like no, if you give it a life, you see it there, and you kind of like walk through with it and see
yes.
what it is, rather than going like,
Yes.
oh, I'm not, I'm gonna ignore this pain and try and get through it.
Right.
What's there? Just so you
Yes.
know. Just kind of like, okay, okay, buddy, let's go along. Okay,
Yep.
how long are you gonna be with me?
Yep.
Let's work through this and
Yep.
see what pain we got and just kind of experience and it can go in a lot of different ways, like in the pain you're having, or like with me with the library, the librarians. Oh my God, God help them all. Um, we've lost our media tech, which is our assistant, which is tough because lose somebody that's going to help you, for reduction in forces, so we no longer have that position available. Which yeah, that's going to be more work for me in the library. But it's like, yeah, it's going to be more work for me, but I'll be okay. And so another librarian and I were talking about it. We're like, yeah, everyone's upset that we're losing. Oh, what are we going to do about our jobs? It's like, one, it doesn't matter. We don't have a choice. So either I sit there and I fight it and I be angry,
Yeah.
or go, how am I going to adjust this? Okay, it's not going to be easy.
Yeah.
The person that does this now I have to do.
Yeah.
Which it's still library stuff. It's just I have to adjust things and go, okay, this is going to be easy. And it's funny. I was talking to my principal, and a lot of things have changed in Phoenix Union itself, more or less our school. And I was in our office. We're just talking, and she goes, it's going to be a different year, and it's going to be everything's unknown. And I go, yeah, that's what I was thinking about the library. Going like, I don't know what's going to happen. And people come in the first day, and I'm not sure. I really am not because I've never been without an assistant. So this whole year is going to be like, so how do I do this to make sure it works? How do I do this to make sure it works? It'd be like something comes up, instead of being angry, going like, oh, hell, I should have an assistant. It's like, okay, so how are we going to do this and that at the same time?
Hmm.
Yeah, I need this, I need that. And you just work through it. And it's not easy, but you still have to be able to, in a work position, in a life position, in a painful position, and like you're in right now, just like, okay, this is here. And you're not always going to be happy about it,
Yeah.
but find a way within you to have that source of, okay, happiness and peace while going through it.
Yeah, and I think one of the first early things you said in that was really, obviously it's all important and key, right? But part
Yeah.
of that is that idea of acceptance, right? You're accepting
Hmm.
what is. You're not in
Hmm.
resistance to what is. That's one of those huge things to me is like, and it doesn't mean it's going to be fun, and it doesn't mean, oh, I'm, letting myself get rolled over or whatever, right? It's just, but I'm recognizing the reality of what is,
Hmm.
and I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to move with it, right? And
Yeah.
that's the whole Taoist idea of like water flows, right? You have to adjust. Okay, now I don't have an assistant. What's the adjustment I need to make, right? That's
Hmm.
moving with something versus just sitting there and going, I wish I had my assistant. I wish I had my assistant. This sucks. I don't have an assistant anymore. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And it's just like, okay, part of that is accepting, right? And there's emotional stuff that you have to accept that goes along with it, mental things, emotional things. I have
Yeah.
a friend of mine, and we were talking about this idea of accepting, stuff. And he's a dude, right? And so he kind of doesn't mind like pain, like oh he broke his hand or whatever. He's fine with it. He's like, yeah, I like pain or whatever. And I'm like, you're a pain slut. You like pain, right? And he's like laughing, but he doesn't. He buries his emotional pain,
Hmm.
right? And
Oh,
so,
okay.
had some stuff happen in his life recently, and some his wife passed, and so he's going through some hard times, right? Emotional pain, but that
Yeah.
stuff he wants to bury, right? He can handle physical pain, but he can't handle emotional pain, right? So there's different kinds of things that we're talking about, right? That there's different levels of that kind of stuff. There's mental pain, there's physical pain, there's emotional pain, there's spiritual pain. There's all these different levels of things, and some of us are better at handling some things than others, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Some people like, oh, there's a problem, well, I can figure it out, and they're very good mentally at handling things. And then, but if something emotional happens, they can't handle that. I think for us, a lot of us guys, it's emotional pain, right? Emotional vulnerability, emotional
Yeah.
stuff,
Hmm.
right? The emotional component of something when it comes up, we're uncomfortable with that. And you
Yeah.
have to learn how to, like you were saying, hey, okay, I'm angry, I'm pissed, I'm frustrated, this hurts, or whatever that is, and
Hmm.
being okay with that and being able to sit into that thing and then move with it and through it. And that's the only way to heal it, right? You have to feel it
Hmm.
to heal it, right? And that's tricky. It's not easy.
No.
Easier said than done.
Yeah. And it may be you've gone through it and you've had that pain, you've had that anger, or whatever you're going through. But then you're like, oh, I've been down here. Now I know I need to kind of like stop and feel it so I
Yeah.
can kind of walk through it and make it part of the journey. Not like, okay, like your thing, make it part of your journey now. You're like,
Yep.
it's gonna be like, okay, till I'm 80 years old, I'm gonna have this thing. No, you're like, okay, this is gonna go away.
Yeah.
What's the process?
Yeah.
What can I do to adjust my life going the way it is?
And even if it was never going to go away,
Exactly. That then you
okay,
have to, yeah, exactly.
okay, here we go.
Hmm.
Let's move.
And
You
how are
know,
we going to fix this? Yeah.
yeah. How are we going to go through this? What, do I have to make
Hmm.
adjustments in my life? Whatever that might be, right? And so I guess, we were starting this talk saying, you are the source, or this idea that you have to at least part of this process is acknowledging or accepting or saying, okay, accepting is possible, I guess is what I would say. If somebody was listening to this and struggling with, whatever's going on in your life, is it, these guys are saying that it's possible. Let me consider that. Can you consider the possibility that somewhere within you, in this moment right now, in this strife right now that you might be experiencing, is it possible for me to shift how I feel right now so I feel a greater degree of peace, a greater degree of of happiness? Maybe you can get to, peace into happiness, into joy, into bliss, right? There are these
Yeah.
levels of that connection, right? And these
Hmm.
meditators go, oh, I went all the way into bliss, which is the highest level, right? The first level is like peace. Hey, I have all this
Yep.
anxiety. Can I get, till I hit another level of peace? And then maybe I can keep going and I go, I feel pretty good right now. Things are
Hmm.
funny or whatever, and I'm laughing more, right? It's this whole process of going within and sitting within and then moving through. And can you do that? So just
While
accepting, if you're
while
hearing
that thing
this,
is while that thing is still there,
yeah,
you can have that joy and
yeah,
that giggle and like,
exactly.
yeah, it's there, but I'm still going to do this, and I'll work on whatever this
And
is.
and
You know.
and so if you're listening to this and you are struggling, which a lot of
Hmm.
us are, right?
Yeah.
So again,
because we
absolute love and
we
compassion
both
for
are.
that.
So
We're
just,
all
you know,
going through our stuff, right? And maybe you haven't experienced that before. Just giving yourself number one, some grace, right? And being compassionate and loving to yourself. But maybe just a seed in your mind saying, okay, is it possible that I could find some peace right now in this moment, regardless of how, you know, crazy your life might be in your circumstances it might be, and just saying, okay, these guys are saying that it is. Maybe what can I try? Can I try to see if I can connect to that thing? They're saying I just lost my job or whatever, I don't have food on the table. Whatever the circumstances are, my life is in total whatever on
shambles.
this
Yeah.
shambles on this level. But they're saying that it's possible for me to access something right now. And what I'm saying is it is possible if you're listening to this and that you've not experienced that.
It is.
I can tell you 100 per Dave and I will tell you living testimony it is possible, and that it's worthy of the journey of
Yeah.
exploration to see, okay, how do you do
Yes.
that?
Yeah. And
They're
and I
saying,
like and I like how Sheldon's saying because there may be that first person just tuning in right now. They may be in tears and just
yeah,
hurt and
yeah,
whatever's going on in your
yeah,
world. And if it is the first time, those that have listened to us know kind of how to get there because we've
yeah,
talked to them. But it's in all the chaos, just find one thing.
yeah,
It's like you don't have to do everything. And there's that. Now I'll go back to it 'cause it's funny. I just saw it just today, this morning. That was at the Naval Academy or it's at one of the academies. It was at the military academy. The Navy admiral gave the speech about making your bed. He goes, he goes, life's going to be tough, but if you just
yeah,
get up and make your bed every
yeah,
day,
yeah,
that's it.
yeah,
You come home, you've accomplished something
yeah,
that day.
yeah,
He goes, and if you go back to the Golden Sun meditation, one of our first episodes back there, like the number 7, I think it was. But if you go back and just go through that meditation,
yeah,
that's going to help you kind of like let things calm down, kind of clear your mind a little bit, and maybe you can find that one piece of goodness you can clap onto and just
yeah,
and I want you to find a wolf pack out there. You need
yeah,
to find somebody, find one person, 2 people, 3 people, just connect up to and say,
yeah,
"Hey, I need some support right now."
yeah,
Not maybe not financial, maybe not whatever, but just some emotional support. To say, hey,
yeah.
I'm gonna do this one piece at a time.
And
So
and it's beautiful. But and one of the things I think Dave, you and I both agree that there are many ways to climb that
yes,
mountain. There are many
yes,
pathways. So, whether it's through a particular church or a particular belief system, whether it's through meditation and a particular meditation or prayer, whether it's just going out into the forest and taking a walk and connecting to the trees, and connecting to nature, putting your feet on the ground, whether it's calling a friend and having, talking, whether it's all of the above in different times, right? That, it is
yeah,
possible to find a place of peace within you, regardless of what your circumstances are. Please accept that and at
yeah,
least trust us on face value. Let's put it that way. Say, okay,
yeah.
I'm going to trust these guys and then let me give
We've
that a
been there.
try. And then be open to different paths of exploration. Like some people might find a great deal of solace and refuge in a particular practice, whether it's meditation, whether it's sports. They play I play basketball. I play pickup basketball, and it just brings me great joy. That's a beautiful thing. But maybe that's not for you, right?
Yeah,
And figuring out what it is that helps you to connect within, right? Because again, that can be an external practice, but that external practice can help you to go within. So
yeah,
it's always about what is it in here? What can I do? And being open to exploring that journey, taking that journey and saying, okay,
yeah.
you know,
And
and yeah,
that's why we have guests on the show too, because it's not just how Sheldon and I went through it,
right.
or other people we know. We want other people to tell their story because
Yep.
I will tell you, all the people that we've had as guests are nowhere near how Sheldon and I went through ours. Our world, it's there's all different
Yeah.
paths of one where you're coming from, and I guarantee you, we could have 100 more guests, in the next 100 days, and guess what? There's gonna be 100 different stories,
Yeah.
and that's the beauty of it all because
Yeah.
you may click on one story, and go, that's not me, but I like that idea. I can jump into
Yeah.
it.
They
And
may
so
be
we
saying the
encourage you to go
same
back and listen
thing,
to
but
it.
in a different way.
Yes,
right? Because
totally.
even if it's the similar path, it might be a slightly different way of expressing it that all of a sudden it lands for somebody. And that was part of why we
Yep.
wanted to have all
Hmm.
these different stories and journeys, all these different perspectives on how we got through this place called
Yes,
life. You know what I mean? This crazy world.
exactly. Yes, and if there's you feel you're at that point where there's nobody, you have nobody out there, nobody anywhere, message us.
Yeah,
Just go, you're
100%.
listening to this now, so right there, just click on something, just say, "I need to reach out to you." Give us your email, give us a phone
Yep,
number, whatever you
yep,
feel comfortable with, and
yep,
we will definitely get back to you. So,
yep.
we may not be able to help you right off the bat, but we'll make sure you have somebody to talk to and find
Definitely
somebody.
have a lot of
To help.
resources. Let's put it that way, right?
Yeah, yeah. So
And
definitely.
if you want us specifically to be part of your wolf pack, then let us know.
Yeah, definitely. So always there to listen, always there to talk, and because guess what, I'll probably get something from you too. So just so you know,
Hundred
so
percent.
it's the things we learn. But yeah. So because the journey's never easy, but it can be fun, happy, and at peace if you're the source of it.
Yeah,
Okay, and this is where I am. A lot of people may be telling you stuff like, "Hey, where's my source?"
yeah,
Okay, this is where I am, and that's where I need to go.
yeah,
I may be telling you go to church, go to church, go to church, and you're like, "That's not me." And
yeah,
Sean says, "I need you to meditate." Well, I can meditate. Well, good, then meditate.
yep,
It doesn't mean that I'm wrong. It
yep,
just means that you found your source now.
yep,
Okay, so now use that source and make it work for you. So,
yep. I
wow.
think that's it. Was that a wrap
Yeah,
right there?
I love it right there, man. That's just
Yeah.
and your homework is just, hey, if you get into that spot, go, hey, I'm going to carry this with me, and how do I find the source to make me happy and at peace? So,
If you got anything from this, please give us a comment down below, like it,
yes,
subscribe, share with
mhm,
somebody else. Other than that, thanks for
yeah,
listening.
yep,
Again, we hope that
yeah,
maybe he made
oh,
you laugh or you got something out of it. And
yeah,
we will see you on the next one. We love you. Thanks for sharing the
yep,
journey with us. Take care.
yep. Have a great day. Keep that smile on.